Español. I'm delighted to be here. What a beautiful and impressive campus, beautiful city, Santiago. And I want to thank Eric. He has worked incredibly hard, and I think after such a successful conference, we're going to canonize Eric and make him a saint for all of his efforts. And it's been very impressive. It's a very excellent conference. Let me just tell you briefly about my background. I have served as an accreditor, an accreditation reviewer for a number of accreditation agencies, both in Europe and in the United States. And I have led institutions through 12 accreditation reviews. So I do have expertise in the field of accreditation review and mentoring. I've served as the president of Babson Global, provost for a major U.S. university, and I've made presentations before a number of accreditation agencies, but I'm particularly fond of EQUAA because I think they have an exceptional model that we'll talk about in a little bit. First of all, let me address the question, what is a mentor? And basically a mentor is an accreditation expert. And the role of a mentor is to advise an institution on accreditation standards, on self-assessment, and review, and to prepare the institution for the accreditation process. A mentor must serve as an advisor, as a colleague, and as a resource. And this is very important for mentorship and for the accreditation process, because many people confuse this process with an audit. The spirit of accreditation is very collegial and constructive, and when the mentor and the accreditor comes to the institution, he or she is a colleague whose purpose is to offer constructive advice and not to find fault. What are the goals of mentoring? First, to help the institution develop a broader understanding of accreditation, to identify issues that pose obstacles in the way of accreditation, to advise the institution on what measures it should take to overcome the obstacles, and finally, to monitor progress towards implementing the measures. The goal of EQUAA mentoring is to prepare the institution for accreditation based on the EQUAA model. Let me talk about what distinguishes, what differentiates the EQUAA model from other accreditation models. And as I mentioned, I've been involved in a number of other accreditation associations, and I find the EQUAA model to be the most flexible of all of the accreditation models. It's based upon two distinct features. What is referred to as a stool step, and that feature is based upon ascending or increasing levels of quality. And it's inspired by the notion of continuous quality improvement. And then finally, it incorporates the development of plans to achieve a higher level of quality. In addition, the second distinguishing feature of the EQUAA model is that it is profile-oriented. So it's not based upon the notion one size fits all. Instead, it's based on the notion that there are different types of institutions with different missions, different program objectives, and its standards are oriented toward the different profile of the institution, whether it is an entrepreneurial school, a professional school, or a research-oriented school. The other accreditation agencies don't make this differentiation. And so, to me, that's what distinguishes, that's what makes this model unique and flexible. I think that some accreditation models will look solely at faculty credentials or they'll look at research output, or they'll look at international connections, corporate connections. The unique feature about EQUUA is that it defines quality not in terms of some external standard, but rather in terms of the institution's own mission and its own program objectives. And to me, that's an excellent approach to the accreditation process. In terms of mentoring, the mentor must understand not only the internal operations of the institution, but also the environment in which the institution operates. So these institutions, colleges, universities, business schools, they don't operate in a vacuum. They operate in a particular social, political, legal, cultural context. And the mentor must be attuned not only to the internal operations of the institution and its standards, but also what is the environment in which it operates. An institution, how an institution will operate in Boston will be entirely different from how it will operate in Santiago or Bogota or Sao Paulo. So the mentor must be very much aware of the cultural, the economic, the political environment, and must evaluate and help the institution operate within that environment. In addition, the mentor must relate his or her present observations of the institution to the mentor's own experience. Now, it's very difficult for me to, if I have been a reviewer for many institutions in South America, and the constraints and their environment is entirely different from the environment in Boston and the United States. So the mentors and the reviewers must always be sensitive to these environmental differences. What's important for mentoring is communication. And the mentor must develop an empathetic understanding of the institution. The mentor must put himself or herself in the shoes of officials of the college or the university, and must attempt to take a view of the institution from their perspective. The mentor must take into consideration constraints. What is feasible? Alternatives, the context. It's important for mentors and reviewers not to impose their views on the institution, but rather to observe, to be open-minded, and to gather facts. And so the mentor's opinions must be based on objective facts and analysis. Yes?
I just wanted to compliment a little bit on what you're saying and on the importance that the mentoring service will have on institutions. The way in which the mentoring service helps is because these mentors will be prepared in terms of how the EQUUA model actually works. So the institution will have that their accreditation process will be much more easier, much more it will flow in a better manner, and the result will be that the mentoring service will provide at the end a final report that is delivered to the institution and also to the EQUUA executive direction, who shares it with the peer evaluators as well. So the peer evaluators receive content about the university and also about the context and things that they have to take in consideration when they do the evaluation for the university. So it's a transparent way in which it works. I think we'll have with Richard today in the afternoon a special workshop with the mentors. But since
let me just summarize with this final point. What is the value? Why is this mentoring service important for colleges and universities? I think in using the mentoring service, mentors are focused on the accreditation standards. They know the accreditation standards. They're familiar with them. They don't have to go out and do research. And that results in a more efficient use of the institution's time and resources. I think that ultimately you're using an external expert, an advisor who knows the accreditation standards. You can rely upon his or her judgment. You don't have to train your internal staff in terms of EQUAA accreditation standards or the model. That will result in considerable savings, and it will help focus the institution on the accreditation process. So that's the importance, and I think that the principal takeaway of the EQUAA mentoring service. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Miguel will